I smell children. We'll try again. Take 2 and see what happens. So we're going to be talking about Hocus Pocus 2. Surprise. So lock up your children. We're back. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Right, I'm just going to add everyone in again and see what happens. Fingersy crosties. It works this time. Hello. Hello.
Back,
You look wonderful.
back.
The witches are back. Woohoo.
Back again.
Right. Right. Kev's just put me a message up saying it's working okay now. I've moved my cape out of the way so it's not rubbing against the microphone. So hopefully, it's weird that that's happened to me twice now in the past couple of weeks. But yeah, must be a gremlin.
Ghost
So
in the machine.
It's Halloween. It's coming close. So unfortunately, as we've started this again, we're going to have to do the introductions again, just so people are watching this back, they know who we're talking to. So we've got our very own Sanderson crew. Woo, woo, woo. And you all look absolutely fantastic. Josh, you're at the top of my screen now, Josh, and that was just like really scary. So absorbing children's life forces, flying, making potions, studying dark magic from his spell book, worshipping Satan and torture. It's Winifred, otherwise known as Josh. Josh, you do that face so good.
I've been studying that film for years for this very moment.
And having fun, being youthful. Boys, men, seducing boys and men, worshipping Satan, candy, spiders, witchcraft, torture, singing. It's Sarah, otherwise known as Emma.
Hello, boys. Hi.
Emma, you do that so well as well. And we have a very special guest this evening joining us, our very, very own Mother Witch. And she once gave me this very precious book when I met her in the woods. And to be honest, she said it would show me the right path of life, but all I met was Mr. Jitters along the way, and he scared the heebie-jeebies out of me. So she gave me another book, and that had Dead-Eyed Sadie in, so... evil Mother Witch, an evil Mother Witch. It's Cat Ellis. Cat Ellis. And I am your Sanderson sister, Mary. I smell children. And I'm your host for the evening. So other hobbies of mine include tracking down children, pleasing Winifred, worshipping Satan, eating, witchcraft and television. So call me for a date. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh dear, Shannon reading books, but Emma, your Sarah costume is so good. It's amazing.
It's spookily good.
It's honestly, it's amazing. So we'll be chatting about Hocus Pocus 2 tonight. So 29 years. If you hadn't guessed, we're talking about Hocus Pocus 2. You know, we don't just normally dress like this. Or do we? So 29 years after the original Hocus Pocus, the witches are back. Whoop, whoop. And Hocus Pocus 2 tells the story of 2 young women who accidentally bring back the Sanderson systems to modern day Salem, and they must figure out how to stop the child-hungry witches. I knew I was going to say it wrong. From wreaking havoc on the world. I knew it was going to happen. So apparently, before the sequel was greenlit, it was going to be a made-for-TV remake of the original. But luckily, they scrapped that idea and did Hocus Pocus 2 instead. And as of October, Hocus Pocus 2 took the throne for Nielsen's biggest ever opening weekend for a movie with 2.7 billion minutes watched since its September the 30th premiere. And based on hours watched domestically in the first 3 days, as of October, Hocus Pocus is the #1 film premiere on Disney Plus in the United States. Oh, cool. Some little factoids there. So Bette Midler, I do love Bette Midler, I have to say. But Bette Midler is largely responsible for Hocus Pocus 2 becoming a reality. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Bette stated that she started to realise how popular Hocus Pocus was becoming. And she couldn't quite believe how much merch was out there. And she thought, oh, this is starting to become a thing. Now, I always thought Hocus Pocus was a thing from the beginning and that it was hugely popular from the beginning. And was Bette Midler just a bit slow on the uptake there, kind of thing? But what do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it never went away. It's always been this movie that's in my life. I used to watch it every single day before and after school when I was about 12. I'd watch the first half before school, I'd watch the second half after school. I was completely obsessed. So yeah, no, that's continued. I still do that to this day.
Yeah.
So for me, it never went away. But yeah, I mean, I wonder if it did just slightly get lost in all those 90s spooky family films, like Casper and Adam's Family, where, you know, maybe it just sort of got glommed in with them a little bit and people stopped thinking about it as much. But it's definitely now become like the Halloween movie to watch every year. More than one.
Yeah. No, definitely. I do watch it every year as well. It's like a tradition. How about you, Emma? Do you think like Bette Midler was just a bit slow then? Didn't realise how popular it was?
I think because of the internet, it's become more popular. Because back then, what was it, 93? Was it 93? You know, there wasn't any internet, so it didn't sort of go like wildfire like that. And then as soon as you had all these memes popping up and, you know, everybody going, makes me sick, and, you know, mimicking the witches. Yeah, it catches on and people are like, what's that from? And then the new generations are finding it. So yeah, I think it probably wasn't that popular back in the day. Like Josh says, there was lots of other films like Addams Family dwarfing it. And it came out, didn't it come out in the summer or something?
Yeah, I think it was July or something, yeah.
Yeah, so that's an odd time for it to come out as well. So yeah, I think it's definitely more popular today.
Yeah, no. What do you think, Kat? Mother Witch?
I think I'm kind of with Bet on this one. I kind of put it down to the fact that I was maybe a very cynical sort of preteen at the time it came out, but I watched it and it was like, you know, enjoyed it obviously, but it didn't really become part of my like Halloween staple. Yeah, I think maybe what Josh was saying about it sort of got lumped together with all of those 90s family films, which were great. But it's only really, I think, yeah, definitely with people watching it more and more, streaming it, I think it has definitely become more popular.
Yeah, I agree. I think I do agree. I think it's become more popular, especially with TikTok, like Emma was saying, people using bits from the movie and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been interesting to see it get more popular, which probably helped it get this sequel, definitely. So the opening scene, so Hocus Pocus 2 then. So the opening scene is obviously set in 1653 on Winifred's 16th birthday. Young little whippersnapper. So it opens up with the young Sanderson sisters and we get a glimpse into their past. We also meet the Mother Witch, and the events in the movie suggest that in the original film, when Winifred says, we are witches, we are evil, what would Mother say if she could see us now? So it kind of implies that the Mother Witch, our lovely cat, well, she was there all along in the background. So obviously she wasn't speaking of their biological mother, but rather the witch. Is it Mother Witch or Witch Mother? Or
Mother Witch.
I keep saying Mother Witch, yeah. And obviously the Mother Witch gave them the spell book back in 1653. So what did you think of this opening sequence, like getting a glimpse into them as children? What did you think, Kat?
I loved it. And I thought that the actresses that played them as children were excellent. They had all the gestures and everything down. I especially loved the little girl that played Winnie. I thought she was amazing. But it was nice to see that they have always been evil right from the beginning. it was nice to see that consistency there with the characters.
Yeah.
Oh, bad.
I think they did it really well. Like Melina said, I loved Team Winifred as well. She was great. What did you think, Emma?
Yeah, no, I agree with Kat. I absolutely love the youngsters. They were hilarious. For me, the opening felt very had the same vibe as the original. So it just had completely the same atmosphere, and I loved it. It was very theatrical. And the girls were just great, weren't they?
It was
And you
so
could see
good.
they'd really studied, hadn't they? They'd
Yeah.
really studied the characters hard to get them right. So yeah, I thought it was brilliant. I really loved the opening.
Yeah. Oh no, they really did get the mannerisms like down to a T, didn't they? It was
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
What about you, Josh? You loved it as well.
Oh, I loved it. I thought they were so great, so funny. They knew they'd obviously studied the original film. I don't know if they met Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker and Kathryn Jimmy, but they just had it down. Absolutely amazing. I also, like Emma said, I thought that it looked like the whole film. I thought, but especially the opening looked fantastic. It just looked so beautiful. I loved the moon in the forest. It was just so great. It looked like real. It didn't look like CGI. I loved the way that the girls were backlit with sort of like orange light when they were holding the book. That was great.
Yeah.
The only thing that on the second watch I was a bit like, is that magic? They basically used a spell to set fire to the guy's house, and it's like you could just do that without magic. You know? Like I was expecting to do something a bit more extravagant than just set fire to something.
Yeah, that's a point. I didn't think of that.
You could actually do that though.
Yeah, you could, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other thing that got on my nerves, as much as the moon looked really amazing, I thought opening with a really crap shot of a CGI bird was a really quite disappointing.
Yeah.
Like, we can do CGI quite well now, and this is Disney, so you guys have the money to do this. And it just looks so like CGI. So that sucked.
No, it did. It did look very CGI. Yeah, I really loved it. I really think they could actually do a spin-off of the young Winifred sisters quite easily. That I would absolutely love.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, I think that would be really, really good. And I was a bit distracted by the setting because it just reminded me of the Fear Street
Yes.
setting for the 1666. Yeah. And even Kev said, "Oh, is this the same set as Fear Street?" So I didn't think to look it up after, but it just looked exactly the same to me. So I thought, oh, and then I was like looking to see if I recognised anything.
Sadie's thinking there.
Yeah, where are you?
Where are you, Sadie?
Sunflowers just put, Emma, you look amazing, and she does. It's like we really have the real Sarah Jessica Parker here with us. That's how good it looks.
You.
No, I'm serious. It's so good, so
when
good.
you saw that picture of you earlier, I was like, oh,
yeah,
what? You look just like that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And
Thanks,
Karen.
guys.
Karen's put, yeah, I want a young Winnie TV show. That would be so cool. And like it gave me a bit of like Worst Witch vibes as well. And I'm there for that. I was like, yeah.
Oh, I love Worst Witch.
So yeah, Sunflowers put Hocus Pocus 2 was good, but like most second ones, it wasn't as good as the first. So yeah, we'll definitely get some opinions on that shortly. So obviously in 2018, a novel was written. I think it was by A.W. Jantha. I think that's how you say it. And it followed Poppy, who is the daughter of Max and Alison from the original film. So obviously they scrapped that idea and didn't follow that route in Hocus Pocus 2. Has anyone read the book, the sequel? I haven't read it.
I didn't know it existed.
Ah, yeah, apparently so. So the story in the film obviously doesn't follow it. It goes off on its own path. So what do you think of the storyline that they created for Hocus Pocus 2? Josh?
Initially I was like, that's a bit of a missed opportunity not to have Max's kids in it. But then at the same time, I think we do have slight fatigue with relatives in sequels, maybe, you know, like the Star Wars sequels were very much still about the Skywalker family and legacy. So maybe it was actually quite a clever idea to only really have the witches, the Sandersons returning, and have pretty much a whole new cast. I think maybe if you're a fan of the first film, you might resist that because you want something familiar and you want to continue those character stories. But for the purpose of this sequel, I think it was quite a smart move just to have a fresh slate, essentially.
Yeah. Ah, interesting. How about you, Emma?
I'm going to totally disagree. I'm so sorry, Josh. I did want the cast back. How dare some of them quit acting? No. I'm sorry, I didn't want to disobey you, Winnie. But yes, I think I personally didn't like the fresh new cast. I didn't like the storyline as much either. And it's because I really wanted to see some of the old cast come back, and I also could see so many different, like Josh, so many different opportunities the writers could have done, and I felt some things were missed. But maybe if we get a number 3, you know, we could have somebody back. But I think it was, I think it would have been really cool to see Max and Alison's daughter Poppy in some way. You know, you could have had a fresh new cast and this, I think, but maybe number 3 be good.
Yeah. Oh, fingers crossed. Oh, how about you, Kat?
Well, I am going to contradict everybody now. I really liked number 2. I thought they did some good things with the new witches and the friendship dynamics, kind of sitting as a contrast to the Sanderson sisters. I thought that was really interesting, but I mean, I can appreciate how somebody who's a massive fan of the original might, you know, feel like it was a missed opportunity not to have Max and Alison. But I always thought that Alison was a bit bland, so I cared not.
No, we wanted the daughter, Kat, not Max and Alison. We'll have the daughter.
But you know, the daughter of Alison, is she going to be bland? So I wasn't really that bothered. I liked Max from the original, so maybe that would have made up for it. But yeah, I liked it. I thought they sort of modernized the storyline quite well. Yeah, I liked it. I thought, controversial now, it was on par with the original.
I like that.
Okay.
I'll get my coat.
Shelley, come on.
Right, I'll be honest, right, I left it very late to watch it because I only watched it today, and I was really apprehensive because obviously I've seen a lot of people talking about it on social media, so I was a little bit like, oh God, am I going to like it? I was a bit worried, to be honest. I think that's why I put it off so long as well, because I really wanted to like it, but I did like it. I did actually think it was fun because I was just there for the whole, like, the nostalgia, like some of the bits that they put in it. And I know it was a little bit overkill. I've seen people saying, like, you know, there's a lot of elements from the first one, but I loved that and I was down for it. There's a couple of bits I think they could have done without. Controversial Shelley here, like the storyline with the shop guy and Billy Butcherson. I don't think they needed that. I love Billy Butcherson, but I think they could have used him differently. So I think that whole storyline with them two was, for me, the bit I didn't like. Because I just was like, every time it cut to them, it lost my interest a little bit.
It was so inconsequential. There were no stakes in that whatsoever.
Yeah. No. And I thought Gilbert was a good character, and you know, he was probably he was quite interesting, and they didn't sort of explore his character enough, I don't think.
Yeah. So for me, that's the only thing I would say. It just took me out of the whole bubble of it every time those scenes came in. And I know that's probably really controversial because I heart Billy Butcherson, but but other than that, I did really like it and I had a fun time with it, and I thought it was kind of cool. I kind of liked it. So I'm like, half with you all. Like, I'm there, like, half, I reckon. Karen's put, I loved when they gave him face masks to keep them young and they started eating them. Yeah.
That was very funny. It was just
That
holding
was
it
so
up.
good.
Look, Winnie.
Look, we need children. Children. Oh, it's that way now, isn't it? The children. So, talking about the shopkeeper guy. So Larry Bagby, who played Ernie, who was Ice in the original film, apparently he was interested in reprising his role for the sequel. So his agent submitted him for a cameo as the Salem magic shop owner. But Bagby was never contacted to audition, basically. So do you think there was like missed opportunities there? I know you've just mentioned about, Emma, some of the original characters. Like, was there missed opportunities there? Was there characters we would have liked to see, or certain elements from the first film that maybe they missed and could have done differently? What do you think, Emma?
Yeah, I think that I would have liked Ice to come back. I would have liked to see what he was as an adult, because he was a really stupid bully, and I really would have liked to see whether he, got some brains, grown up. Do you know what I mean? And just what was he doing? I'd love to know. And then Danny also, I really would have loved to have seen. Danny was dressed as a witch in the first one, so I really wanted Danny back as a grown-up witch. I would have, I really wanted that. So yeah, that for me, those were the two things that I really would have liked to see.
Yeah,
definitely.
How about you, Josh? What do you think? Do you think there's any missed opportunities?
I do agree about Danny. I felt like she was the fun character in the first film, and she was great. I would have loved to have seen her as a grown-up, and I just love Thora Birch. So to have Thora Birch back would have been really cool. I would have liked to see Ice as well. The shopkeeper guy. I felt there were lots of characters in the film that didn't really serve much purpose a lot of the time, and there was a lot of setup and not much payoff for a lot of the characters. So the great thing about Ice was that he did have a payoff at the end of the film. You know, he's trapped in the man cage right at the end.
Oh yeah,
And so it's like there was always a payoff. Whereas with the mayor character, Tony Hale, he was very funny, but he didn't really do anything. There was a really awkward moment in the middle of the film when he goes to check on his daughter, and then there's a terrible bit of like dubbed dialogue of him saying, "Well, stay at home, I'll come home later," and he goes back to the fair. It's like, I felt it was really like they really didn't know how to handle all those characters. And similarly with the new bully guy, who was very funny, but he was sort of like shoehorned in. There was that whole sequence where the witches cast a spell so the townspeople would lead them to the mayor, and then they just suddenly forget that's what they were doing. Who could fight? Well, you just cast a spell to fight, and why have you suddenly decided to get this bully to do? It was like there were so many things like that I felt brought new characters in, but you didn't serve them all very well. And it would have maybe been more effective to have some older characters coming in instead as like bit parts rather than main characters.
Like little cameos and stuff. No, definitely. I agree with that. How about you, Kat?
I think, well, for me, probably the only character that I missed seeing at all was Thackeray Binks. I would have seen that character in some form. I don't know whether it would have been as a cat or a ghost or what, but it would have been nice to have seen something of Thackeray.
Or a ghost cat.
That would have been so cool. That is definitely a missed opportunity there. Definitely. Yeah. Even in like the end cut scene, because there's obviously a scene after the credits. Like, it would have been nice to have like something there. Like a ghost cat or something. Yeah, definitely. But I do agree with Josh, like the mayor thing, just that didn't quite gel 100%, because I kind of wanted him to get that toffee apple, caramel apple or whatever it is, but it'd be like bewitched or something. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it was poisoned.
Bewitched, and she was actually really a witch, and you know, he's been lusting after her apples all those years. Like the metaphors were like, I was like, Because there was there a Mrs. Mayor? Oh, there was in the poster, wasn't there? Yeah, there was a Mrs. Mayor. Yeah,
so it was all about the apples, and the apples didn't really do anything.
No, but it did
You're
make me
right.
laugh. It did make me laugh when he lost his toffee. He finally gets it, and he loses it when the townspeople like surround him before they like go off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did make me laugh. I was like, oh, he's lost his toffee apple. Kevin says, you're obsessed with that toffee apple, because I kept going, Anyway, I don't know, it caught my attention. I was like, because I thought there was going to be more to it, because he kept making a big thing of it, so I thought it was going to be like bewitched and something was going to happen, but anyway, I was wrong. I normally am. No. So what was your favourite scene in the sequel, Kat?
Oh, I really, really liked it when the Sanderson sisters were in the supermarket, eating all the face cream and all.
Oh, that's my favourite.
Sort of marveling the moving doors and things. That was a really funny scene, and it ended so well with, you know, the whole Becca throwing the salt and managing to get away because she deflected the thunderbolt or whatever it was. But yeah, I thought that was a great scene.
Yeah, no, I love that scene. That was hilarious, and I think that had me and Kev really chuckling earlier.
I loved it when those three like miniature witches came up to the Sanderson sisters for a selfie. It was like, we look amazing.
And you see the picture on the screen. And then later they look in the in like the shop mirror thing on the top, and they look up, they're like, we look ugly. That whole scene was like, that was a brilliant scene. Yeah, I love that. How about you, Emma?
I actually liked Mother Witch.
Yeah,
when they met Mother Witch, I thought she was fantastic. I really like this. There's a new character. That's my favourite new character there, I think. Mother Witch definitely was amazing. I just felt it was very panto, and it was just so much fun. And meeting the kids, and that was my favourite. Just them running into the forest and meeting the kids.
I would have liked to have seen more of Mother Witch as well.
She was great.
Yeah, she was so great.
You know who she was? The actor.
No.
She was in Game of Thrones, and she was the Shame.
She was not.
Yep.
Stop, Josh. She wasn't.
Of course. Now I can see. Yes.
I can't see that at all. Oh my gosh.
I can see it now. You've said it. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh, yeah, I thought she looked familiar.
Wow. I now have to go and I'm getting on the internet after this. I have to go look. That's incredible.
Oh dear. Who was your favourite? What was your favourite scene, Josh?
So my favourite scene was the opening with the young versions of the sisters. But I have two favourite moments, because they were the moments that made me absolutely howl with laughter. The first one is when the friends are looking for a book in the shop, and there's a shot of the book looking really scared it's going to be found, and then there's like a bead of sweat going down. It's so stupid, but it's so funny. And then the other funny moment was when they got into the friend's house, and Winifred tells them all to spread out, and Sarah just like spreads out.
And she gets a whack off Winifred, doesn't she?
I loved it when she got slapped. Probably slapped.
Oh,
and Mary
was like, I'm laughing. Oh god, there were so many like funny moments. I think one of my favourite scenes was definitely the department store. That just had me in stitches. Obviously when they're riding on the brooms, which obviously we saw in the trailer, but I just thought that scene was good, and you see the bubbles come out the back of Sarah Jessica Parker's mop. And then my other favourite scene was when they first come back. So you've got like this pitch black scene, and you can hear the two girls' voices like talking, and they're wondering what's going on. And then all of a sudden you get like that lightning and stuff, and then you just see like their outlines. And it actually made me really excited to see, like, just see their outlines, like, and I'm like, oh, they're coming back. Like, I was like, yeah. But I just thought that was quite well done. I just like the imagery there and stuff. So I liked that.
I was going to say, Emma, I was thinking about you in that moment because you were talking about in the Midnight Club how they shouldn't have shown the characters kissing before the final episode.
Yeah.
And I think something similar happened in Hocus Pocus when there's that great long whole spiel in the shop where the guy tells us the history of the Sanderson sisters. And they show them in flashback to the first movie, and actually it robs that feeling of expectation where you just really want to see them. And it just kind of throws it away really willy-nilly.
Yeah, that's a point. So that's before we see. That is before we see them. Yeah. Why do they do these things? Why?
Guys, Disney,
why?
Sort out.
So Melina's put, I loved it when the mayor calls the sisters the Gothic Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked that. That was funny. And Karen's put, what, like them all turning up in the afterlife and Zachary Binks yelling, no, I just got rid of you witches. Yeah. That's the possible next film. And Karen's put, Kat, was that a Halloween goblet?
It is.
Oh, you put it is, yeah. Oh, nice. And Heidi. Oh, have you got them back in?
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, because they've gone. They've died.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you.
Awesome.
So Heidi Ellis has put, they played a part of the first movie on the TV too, which I thought was odd. Now, I wanted to ask you guys about this. That's a really good point, Heidi, because so there's a scene, I think, where Mary looks through the window and there's two people, a couple watching the TV, and the actors are obviously from Hocus Pocus, the original, and it's a scene from that. So it was Gary Marshall and Penny Marshall, I think, and they have both passed away. So I'm presuming the purpose of that scene was to honour them. But was it necessary? Because I know I was chatting to Dustin from Dustin Can Read, and he kind of said when that scene happened, it kind of took him out of what was kind of going on. So was it a nice way to honour them, or was it just not the appropriate time at that moment to do it? What do you think, Josh?
I think it was really weird.
It was a bit strange.
How are they watching Hocus Pocus on the same thing? Like, we're in that world already. Like, you're like us watching an Instagram live.
Yeah.
Well, documentary in that world.
Yeah. I think they honoured it better when Tony Hale stops and sees the couple with the toffee apple, and it's two people dressed like the devil and the woman with the hair curlers in the first film. That was a nice touch.
Yeah.
It's odd.
Yeah.
But you'd think, like, nowadays with like CGI and, you know, what they can do, like, if they really wanted to honour them, they could have like put them into the film, like, you know, like just like the real actors, because they can do that nowadays, can't they? You know, when actors are dead. Yeah. Oh, you know, it's Disney, they can afford it.
Look, do they want to do it or not? And if they do, then just put CGI.
Oh, what do you think, Kat? Did you notice that scene, or did you think it was odd, or did you like it?
Right, this is the thing. I've watched Hocus Pocus 2-3 times, and I didn't notice. I haven't noticed any of the Easter eggs that you mentioned.
Wow! No, I love that. I love that you haven't noticed that.
So I was okay with it.
Is that because you were busy cutting out your cape?
She was too busy being the mother witch.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, do you know what? I actually really like that though, Kat, because that means you were that absorbed in it. And there's me, like, I'm picking on like all these little things, like, and like, yeah, I love that.
Oh, and Heidi's telling me off now. Heidi's my sister-in-law.
Oh.
Yeah, you
Oh dear. How about you, Emma? Did you notice that scene?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think what would have been better if they'd have honoured the cast that was still alive and had them in the movie.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, I was a bit miffed. I was like, I don't know why that was a decision. You know, you could have put something in the credits.
That is a good point, though. I know I'm not being mean because I know those two actors have passed away. God bless their souls. But how come they could put those two in and not anyone else? It just doesn't make
no one else is breathing.
Yeah.
Breathing, no.
Well, maybe they were saving everybody else for number 3. So I think yeah, I know they haven't announced number 3, but it was strongly hinting that there will be.
Yeah. No, there definitely was, because I think at the time of writing they had no plans to make a trilogy. But I think if the conversation comes up, I think the main cast would do it. And obviously there's a scene after the credits. Did everyone see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's a scene after the credits and it hints there's a way for the sisters to come back. So do we want a third film?
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah. Yeah, Josh?
No.
No! That was a proper Winifred answer, that was. So Josh doesn't want a third film. Why?
Because I don't think they did a very good job, I'm afraid, with the second one. I think there was a real missed opportunity. I thought it looked fantastic. There were some very funny moments, but
yeah. Sure. Yes, please.
Yeah, I could settle for that. Yeah.
Oh, what about though if they announced a third film and they were going to bring all of the original cast back that were alive? That sounded really awful.
If they're still alive.
What about if they did say we're doing a third one, but we're bringing all the original cast back? We're going to have Poppy from the book, the daughter. Would you be on board then, Josh? What do you think? No.
Sorry.
I'm trying to sell it.
You're no longer my sister.
Sister. Oh dear. And I take it like Kat, you would love a third film, as you said. So
I would. I think if they make a third one, Mother Witch is going to be the bigger bad.
Yes.
And everybody else will have to get behind the Sanderson sisters to take her down. That's my make it.
Right.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So I think it's going to be, if they bring back some of the original cast, it'll be quite a nice change to see them getting behind the Sanderson sisters after all the stuff that went down with them in the first film. So yeah, I see potential.
Oh, someone call Disney and get Kat, Josh and Emma on the books.
I want to know where she's been. Where's Mother Witch been all this time? Is she gone? Like what? What's her deal?
She's a bird.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's a dodgy CGI bird. Oh dear. I did think, I'd like that Cat. That's good. I
would watch that. Okay, I'll take that. Yeah.
See, well done, Cat. Well done.
This is why you bring me on, Shelley.
And Emma, you'd like a sequel, but obviously with a third one with the original cast.
Yes, please. Yeah. So let's do that.
Yeah. Cynthia's just joined us. Hi, Cynthia. She's put costumes. Yeah. Relita's put yes to a third film. Karen's put yes. Karen wants a third, fourth, and 100th film. Whoa, definitely. Hi, Dustin. Dustin's just joined us as well. Right, I've skipped ahead of all my questions because I got carried away. So I said the new characters. I know we've talked about we weren't too keen on some of the new characters. Was there a favourite that stuck out to you, or were they just like, nah, Kat?
Well, aside from Mother Witch, obviously, I think my favourite in the new cast was Izzy. I thought she was like a really good foil to Becca as the best friend, loyal best friend, but she also had some really like nice dry one-liners. I thought she was a really cool character, and I would like to see more of her if they do make a third film.
Yeah, I loved Izzy. I did think she was good. I think she was quite underused as well. They could have used her a lot more. How about you, Emma? Did you have a favourite new character?
Obviously, Mother Witch, but
Mother
also I really like Gilbert, and I think he should have been more evil. We needed an injection of something really dark. I didn't think we got it. We needed some evil from him. I think if he'd have been a little bit more edgy and a little bit more evil, it would have been better, you know. So I'd like him to come back and really lose the plot.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe work with Mother Witch or something.
Yeah,
Cool.
Definitely see him being like a sort of Renfield character to Mother Witch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How about you, Josh? Did you have a favourite new character?
I'm really trying to.
Come on, Josh.
Izzy was the best new character.
Yeah, there we go. No, actually, I did like her a lot. I thought the three friends were really good. I thought the friend who they fell out with, don't know what her name is. She was very funny, especially in the final scene when she was sort of like having to react to things, having just come into all this completely out of the blue. I thought she was very funny. So I like them. I like them a lot.
Yeah, no. And Dustin's put Emma already looks better than Sarah J. Parker in the movie. Trevor. No.
Dustin, do you want a third film? Because I feel like me and Dustin probably feel similarly about this film.
I think Dustin's answer might be no, but I keep moving my mouth to the side like Mary doesn't. No.
Do you know what my boyfriend, after we finished the film, said? Is there something wrong with her? Because he thought there was something wrong with her mouth. I was like, no, that is the character.
And obviously she can't do it that way anymore, can she? So she had to do it that way. So they got Bette Midler to slap her at the beginning. So she can't, when they first appeared, she was like that way, and then Bette Midler like slaps her and it moved to that side because she can't do it on that side anymore, or whichever side. I'm getting confused with the mirror image, but she like it's only really quick. She just gives her a slap and it changes. Dustin's put sure, but focus on the Mother Witch and don't make it purposely campy. And yes, Kat's got a brilliant idea, and I really want that to happen, Kat, with that Mother Witch.
I think
story.
sure isn't necessarily a yes. Sure is like a okay.
Sure. And Dustin's put they tried too hard to make it really Disney. Yeah. I think I agree with that. They put a lot of Disney kind of elements into it, didn't they? Definitely. And Heidi's put, okay, didn't know there was a post-credit scene. Oh, yes, go check that out. Just went on to Disney Plus to watch it. So I hereby take back my scolding of Kat.
That's right.
Oh, dear. I always look for an end credit scene now, like on everything. It's damn Marvel. Always like making you look now, don't they?
In the cinema going, do I wait till the end? I'm talking about I have to wait.
Oh dear. So as with the first film, we get like a musical number, and this is a fun fact, not a fact that I noticed, but so. Please don't shout at me if this is a wrong fact, but apparently I put a spell on you in Hocus Pocus, the original, and one way or another in Hocus Pocus 2, both start at exactly 58 minutes and 30 seconds into the film in both films. Apparently so. So that must have been done on purpose. It's got to have been. Well, I like to think it was. So what were your thoughts on this new musical number? Was it as good as I Put a Spell on You? Or are you like, what were they doing? Josh?
I really liked The Witch is Back. Thought that was really fun.
Yeah.
I thought One Way or Another was sort of fine as well. The thing that stopped me enjoying that quite so much, and maybe it was because they were trying to get the timing absolutely right on the running time, but there was this weird padding going on with the competition, and then the sisters kind of going, oh, we could do a spell. Oh yeah, should we do a spell? I don't know. Shall we do a spell? Maybe we could. Let's do a spell. Let's do a spell. And it's like you could have just gone into the song. You know, you didn't need all this weird.
But maybe that's why, because they were weirdly
time.
trying to get the time in the same.
Yeah,
then
I thought the film was long anyway. They didn't need to pad as much as they did. So
I'd love to know what the relevance is. If that is correct, I should have checked. But if that is correct, I wonder what the relevance is, or whether it was just like a nice little tie-in that the directors and that thought. But yeah, maybe that's why. What did you think, Emma? Did you like the new musical numbers?
I liked the opening number, like Josh said, which is a back. I did not like One Way or Another, because I Put a Spell on You is such an iconic song, and it's like, just so original. And then this one I don't know, I didn't like it so much. And I didn't like that it was going the same way as the last one. So they put a spell on the audience. I did like all the drag queens. I love a drag queen.
Yeah.
I loved all the drag queens. So when they were up there posing as the witches, and then they didn't win, and they were like, whoa, whoa. I love that, but I didn't like that it was the same thing, and that obviously it went nowhere. It would serve no purpose, and I wasn't keen on the song either. So,
and also, like in the first film, they know that song because when they get to the party, the guy's singing that song, so they know it from him. In this film, they just randomly know pop songs.
It's like me. Just like know all these random
strange magic.
Magic. Sorry.
When did the song come out? Did you say?
Yeah,
Emma?
the witches would have heard it. When did they hear it?
Yeah, that's true. Maybe they were
floating over Salem, sort of just in the mist, just listening to songs.
Maybe they were the original writers, and they've come back for their royalties. That might be what it is. How about you, Kat? Did you like the new musical numbers?
I did, and I've got to say that generally speaking, with very few exceptions, I hate musicals. Really hate them. There are a few exceptions, like Labyrinth, obviously, but
thank you.
I really thought that the music that they used in this film worked well. I was down with it. I thought it was good. I have no questions.
I kind of liked it. I was singing along, but yeah, I did think, oh, that's an interesting choice. But obviously, I knew those were the songs before I watched it, because it's been everywhere, hasn't it, on social media?
And also, like, so when did they manage to get some of the mayor's blood for their spell? I completely missed it.
I think they used the daughter's blood in the end, because they said, it's sibling blood or something, didn't they?
That's right, they did. Yeah,
they used the daughter's blood. And the daughter, in my opinion, I can't remember her name, Cassie. I think she was so underused. Like, they could have done a lot more with that, like, relationship and that. I don't know. All she was there for was to wear the tie-dye T-shirt that was worn in the first film. But I think they just could have done a little bit more with that. I don't know.
And there was a lot of sort of people just being trapped. You know, like the girls get trapped in the basement, and then the sisters get trapped in the garage, and it's like nothing Nothing's advancing here. People are just getting trapped.
Oh dear. But I did like as well, I noted down, I think I've got lipstick on my teeth, I'm so sorry. During the One Way or Another, the costumed mob apparently were actually really performing Thriller by Michael Jackson. That was apparently the dance that they were doing. It would have been, but I'm covered in lipstick. It would have been, but yeah, I'm not sure whether Disney. I'm not sure Disney maybe would go there with that. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm just thinking. but yeah, apparently that's the dance that they were doing. Apparently, but
they were good. I did love their dance. I thought that was really cool, and I loved the moment when they all gathered around the mayor and they put their hands on him and they bind him, and then the spell. Yeah, and then the spell ends. I thought that was really effective.
Yeah.
And quite funny. Yeah. They were just like, oh, what's happening?
But he's like so oblivious. He goes, it's a flash mob. Oh, God, it made me chuckle. It's a flash mob. I love it. That would be something I would say. I'd be like, So Dustin's put, they originally were going to make one called Hocus Pocus Rise of the Elder Witch, rumoured. And this could have been interesting. Yeah, we needed more Mother Witch. And yeah. And then Dustin's also put, The Witches Are Back should have been left as the credits song, in my opinion. It was an odd way for them to be resurrected. It made it too campy at the beginning for me. Yeah, I see that. It was a bit, yeah.
It was I like campy, though. Yeah.
It was really campy, but I liked the moment when she said, "Oh, who are they performing to?" And then Sarah was like, "You," and just came out of the
That was good. I kind of like as I said before, I think that was one of my favourite scenes, was the opening, but more for the staging with the lighting and stuff.
They did that again when they smashed down the front door and they were kind of in silhouette. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was so cool. That's what I mean. I loved it for all the just those type of moments, like that just got me really excited, and I was like, I just loved them so much, like Sanderson sisters forever. Excluding the sisters, excluding the flashback scenes and obviously the couple watching the Hocus Pocus on the TV, did you notice any other Easter eggs from the first film? Cat?
Well, I don't notice Easter eggs, but I did love that they had Sarah doing the amuck again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, amuck. Go on, Emma, do it. Amuck. She does it so good.
And she looks for her lucky rat tail as well, and she swings around on the beam.
Yeah.
In the shop.
Oh yeah. Because at first I didn't recognise that the shop was their house. It was Kev who said to me, "Is that their house?" And it's been turned into a shop. Yeah. But I didn't make that link until very, very later on. But that was just me being slow, maybe. Coral Reef has put, "You all look fabulous." How about you, Josh? Did you pick any Easter eggs up? Don't do those eyes. Those eyes were scary then.
I can't think of any. No.
Okay.
No.
What do I
Me neither.
No, okay. So I didn't pick these up. I found them on the interwebs. So some of the Easter eggs apparently were you did pick one up, Josh. So about the couple with the mayor. So that was one of the Easter eggs. So apparently Cassie's house bears a resemblance to Alison's mansion in the first film. Yeah. Loose Easter egg.
That was a gorgeous house.
Yeah, I know, jealous. Obviously Cassie wears the tie-dye t-shirt. That's similar to Max's in the first movie, and apparently there's a tan sweater at some point that she wears, which is similar to Alison's in the first movie.
Okay.
one that I'd love to go back and see if I notice is apparently when you look at the big billboard sign with the mayor's re-election campaign, and it's got the three of them on, apparently behind you can see the Denison's house from the original movie.
Oh, nice.
Apparently.
Oh, I've never have noticed that.
No, but now I really want to go back to see if I can see it. The witch's mother's colour scheme is similar to Danny's witch costume from the original film. What else have I got? So the townsfolk, there was loads of Easter eggs in there where they're doing the under the spell dance thing or whatever they were doing. So there was like someone dressed up as Madonna, which is a link to the first film. And then I think as well there's other people dressed up as the band from the original film who sang Put a Spell on You, and the Dracula costume, and I think there's like Billy Butcher's son somewhere in there, like someone dressed up as him, which I'm glad I didn't notice because that would have really confused me. Yeah, that would have really confused me. So apparently they did put some like subtle Easter eggs in, but it's like kind of blink and you miss them kind of ones, other than the tie-dye t-shirt, because I saw that one kind of straight away and I thought, tie-dye t-shirt. So yeah. So just for a bit of fun, so obviously which Sanderson sister is your favourite, and has it changed from the first film compared to the second film? Kat?
That's so hard because, I mean, the dynamic between them is what makes them so amazing.
Yeah.
I think maybe Sarah is my favourite just because she has that kind of joyful energy. I love that about her.
Yeah.
And Emma makes such a good Sarah.
Yeah, really. She really, really does. How about you, Emma? Have you got a favourite Sanderson sister? Has it changed, or is it the same from the first film? Emma?
Hello.
Emma?
She's got a spell on her.
Put a spell on you. Emma!
Now she's gone.
Hello?
Are you there?
I think my internet's going.
Oh, no, Emma! No! Oh,
typical Sarah move.
Oh, Sarah! Oh.
Kids have got back on the internet.
Oh, can you hear me? Yeah, we can hear you. The kids going, muck. Oh,
I'm so sorry.
There? Oh, no, it's all right.
They've bumped me off the internet.
Oh, we can still hear you. Oh.
Hang on.
I'll go to you, Josh, while Emma's just sorting out. So who's your favourite Sanderson sister?
Oh, I mean, it's got to be Winifred. I just think she is so funny.
Yeah.
Like, I love that combination of just like utter despair and sort of like, you know, living from magic. You know, I just think she's just so funny.
Yeah.
But like, it's almost like she doesn't know how funny she is, kind of thing. Just I love her.
Oh yeah. I think for me, I reckon Emma should be back on in a minute. She's going around in a circle on my screen. We've put a spell on Emma. So mine, it's like that meme, you know, that meme that goes around where it's like when you were this age you wanted to be like Sarah, then when you're at this age you want to be Winifred, and then when you're old you want to be Mary. So now I'm starting to wonder whether I like Mary more, but no, I think Winifred is definitely my favourite, because I just think she's I love how vulnerable she is. She's all big and like, I'm the boss. But then actually it's like, oh, you really hurt my feelings. And, you know. I just love her. I love her. But I think I do generally, anything Bette Midler's in, I do generally kind of like, I know that she's caused a little bit of trouble on the interwebs recently, but I still love her, bless her heart. But she needs to control her tweets. Only what I read. I don't know whether that's true. But we love you. So what did you think of the ending of it? So when obviously there's a whole thing about like the sisterhood, and you know, Winifred really seems to like show that she cares for her sisters, when quite often you know she cares, but in a weird way, like you were saying, Josh. But what did you think of that whole ending? It was quite emotional. Even Buck had a tear coming down his little cheek. What did you think, Josh?
The first time around, I found it very odd tonally.
Yeah.
But then the second time around, because I knew it was coming and I could see how they'd seeded it throughout the film, I think it actually did have quite an interesting sort of resonance to it. Yeah, I actually thought it was okay the second time around. You know, I was expecting like a big battle and we didn't really get it. There was just a bit of running around in the woods. But yeah, I think that it did kind of quite effectively do the three friends and then the three sisters. Hello.
Yeah. Emma's back. Yeah, no, I agree on that. What do you think, Kat, about the ending when Winifred was very sad?
Yeah,
sad.
I liked it up to a point. I thought it was really nice to see, you know, how strong the bond between her and her sisters really was. You know, when you sort of pushed everything else aside, they were what mattered most to her. But I did feel like they made her a little bit too soft. Like when she was disappearing, she should have been swearing vengeance and all that sort of stuff. That would have been more Winnie, to my mind.
Yeah,
But
or go like, sisters, I'm coming.
We'll be back.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted and expected to see from Winnie, but it was just a little bit too mild.
Yeah. What about you, Emma? What did you think of? We were just talking about the ending and how like Winifred seems to like go a little bit more softer at the end when she's lost her sisters and things like that. So what did you think of that ending?
Sorry guys, I'm having such bad internet problems.
Oh, can you hear me? Emma? Oh, Emma, you can't leave us. No. This is like the ending of Hocus Pocus 2.
It's not working.
Oh, this is like the ending of Hocus Pocus 2. I'm gonna cry. Oh, she can't.
I'm so sorry. I'll try again.
All right. Yeah, I thought I thought the ending was a bit strange. I was expecting a little bit of a more dramatic end, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it was quite dramatic. They went up into dust, but
very slowly.
Yeah, very slowly. But
slowly.
but yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. It kind of just happened, didn't it? It kind of just happened. So overall then, is there anything that we haven't discussed that you wanted to bring up about the film, or what did you think overall? Would you watch it again, Josh?
I would watch the opening again because I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, we definitely need a spin-off of Young.
Yeah, I do really think it looked fabulous. I can't say that enough. It just looked amazing. They did such a great job visually. But I think just as a story, for me, it just didn't really work, I'm afraid. So I don't know how much of a rush I'll be to watch it a third time.
Oh yeah, you've watched it twice. Oh,
yeah, I watched it on the day it premiered. I was there, ready.
See, I was slacking. I don't know what I was doing. What was I watching? Oh, I don't know. Must have been doing something. How about you, Kat? Anything that you wanted to chat, or have we covered it? And I know you loved it, so I know you've watched it multiple times.
Yeah, I've watched the new one probably the same number of times as I've watched the original.
Oh, I love it.
I do. I think, yeah, like I said before, I think it's in my heart on a par with the first one.
Yeah.
I think probably because I'm coming to it at the right time in my life.
Oh, no, but I love that, and that is the power of like film and books. It's like if it speaks to you and it comes to you at the right time, it can be really, really powerful, can't it? So yeah, that's brilliant. I think I would watch it again, but it would be more to like look out for those Easter eggs just to see if I could spot them. So I'm really interested, just as like a final question. So the main characters have a birthday tradition. So I'm wondering, as it's Halloween tomorrow, what are your Halloween traditions? Have you got anything that you do like year in, year out without fail, or do you like making new traditions, Kat?
Well, generally at this sort of time of year, not necessarily on Halloween itself, but around this time of year, I do like to go ghost hunting. I like to go on ghost tours around old buildings and castles and things like that. So, yeah, I haven't done one. Well, no, I have done one around York this year. That was really fun.
Oh, tell us. Did you see like any ghosts or like?
We didn't, but I learned that there have been a lot of people murdered in York, which I didn't know. Yeah, and Guy Fawkes was executed there apparently, and somebody was crushed underneath a pile of stones. So yeah, apparently there are tons and tons of ghosts around there, which I was expecting because I read. Have you read 16 Souls by Rosie Talbot?
I haven't read that yet, but I really
all
want
about
to
the
read
ghosts
it.
of York, and it's a brilliant book. So I was kind of like interested to hear more about the ghosts that haunt York, and I did. I didn't see any, but it was really fun, and I like doing things like that at this time of year.
I kind of like that. And do you watch like lots of movies, like scary movies as well, like around this time?
Well,
you watch scary movies all the time.
Yeah, that's around for me.
Yeah. I tend to watch because I watch like scary movies, but around Halloween, Kev does join me and watch some. As long as it's not like too extreme, he'll like watch like Hocus Pocus 2 we watched. What else have we watched? Oh, God, I can't remember. But I watched X, but I had to watch that on my own. I watched that the other day. That was weirdly different but good at the same time.
Not
I
the
can't
same
explain
target
it.
audience as Hocus Pocus 2, I don't think.
Well, no,
Yeah.
and I live next to I live next door to my mom, right? And I had the telly on really, really loud, and my telly is like next to her wall, like the wall between us. And I was thinking, she's gonna think I'm watching porn. So I had to turn the TV down. I was like, oh, she's going to be texting me saying, what are you doing?
But just send your mum a text, it's not porn.
So it was interesting. Oh dear. How about you, Josh? Have you got any Halloween traditions?
Not really. Like, I pretty much just watch horror movies. Like I'll try to either go to friends' houses or get my friends over here.
Yeah.
Chuck on a bunch of horror films. I think tomorrow we're going to watch Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which is one of my absolute favorites.
Yeah, I love that.
And my friend has a projector screen in their living room, so that's going to be awesome
Oh,
to see on the big screen. Yeah.
That'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Lots of Halloween candy and horror film. Perfect.
Oh, that sounds really, really good. Karen's put the candle for the present looks so shonky. Oh yeah. Just going back to Hocus Pocus, that candle did not look like a candle. That's all I'm saying about
Agreed.
that.
Yeah.
It did not look like a candle. But yeah, I don't think Emma could. I tried sending Emma another invite, but I don't think she could come back. But that's a shame. But anyway, thank you guys. Like, it's been really good chatting with you about Hocus Pocus, and I like that we had like varied opinions as well of it, and like gave us a good insight. But yeah, overall, I'm just gonna go. I like it because it just gave me like nostalgia feels, and and I would like a third one. Heidi's put, thanks guys, love this. You all look amazing. Josh, I really hope the Shadow Glass gets made into a movie. Yeah, we need the Shadow Glass.
Thanks, Heidi.
Into a movie.
I knew I liked that, Heidi.
And cats. We want cats into a movie.
Absolutely.
I've got Cats of the One somewhere. If you could see the state of my books at the moment, you'd be disgusted with me because it's it's so bad. Oh, I can see Wicked Little Deeds like at the back of a book pile that's in front of it.
Because it's too scary.
So, well, yeah.
Not like putting it in the freezer. Friends.
Yeah. Oh no, it's like nicely filed on my shelf, but then I've like got no room for the other books, so I've like put other books. It's dangerous in my room. Don't be fooled by the neatness behind me. It's yeah. But do check out like Josh's book and Kat's books, because they both write brilliant books. And check out Emma as well. Exciting things coming from Emma. And yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for joining in. Thanks Karen. Happy Halloween, guys.
Happy Halloween.
Halloween.
Take care. Bye. Bye.